Hi, everybody. I'm back. I'm sorry it took me so long to make another video. Um, I've just been kind of busy. I haven't been feeling great. I think I mentioned in the previous video that I have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And so I've been doing a lot of work to get that under control and figure out just how to manage my pain and my fatigue and my energy level. And so, but I'm here today and that's good. And I feel good. And so, um, I really just wanted to talk about Imbolc today. And, I'm really intending this to just be like a blog about my witchy life. And I want it to be a place where I can be real and talk about real life and talk about the real struggles that go along with um, being a Wiccan, being a witch, and just the day to day stuff that we deal with. Um, so, Imbolc is coming this weekend, and originally I thought it was going to be this sort of big ritual experience, but now it turns out that it's probably going to be a little bit more quiet, just me and my partner, which is fine. Um, Usually around Imbolc, I get really excited and really energized, and I really look forward to celebrating. And this year, the energy has been a little bit quieter. I've definitely been feeling this pull towards spring and really wanting it to be spring and really like anticipating spring and being excited about spring. Um, but the energy around Imbolc in particular has been a little bit uh, more mellow, more quiet, more understated. Um, some of the reason why I think is because my goals for this year are very different than they typically are. I'm typically really motivated to set intentions and to manifest and to be productive, to feel like I'm making big changes in my life, to feel like I'm making headway and progress in my life. And sometimes it can be really hard when I recognize that I need to have a quiet time, or I need to take a break, or I need to turn inward and not be so focused on moving forward. So typically, when I plant intentions for Imbolc, they're big things that I want to manifest at Samhain, that I want to like harvest and have this huge harvest of wonderful progress in my life, whether it be work or personal or financial or whatever. Like, I always have these big goals and ideas of what I want to do. I knew at Samhain this last year that it was going to be different. I've really felt a pull towards taking care of self and being self-focused. And every year I pick a word of the year. And this year my word was self. And it was really a word that I was using to encompass an idea of self-love and self-care and self-trust and self-respect. I do have a tendency to put others in front of myself. I do have a tendency to sell my own desires short. And I really felt called to, by Morgan, to work on honoring myself more, respecting myself more, and just sort of living my life uh, a little more fully in the center of what my desires are and like what my needs are and getting my needs met. And that's really hard. I mean, I've raised 4 kids. I've been a mother for more than 25 years. I have an empty nest now, but, I've done a lot of work in my community. I've done a lot of work with like Coven, and I'm used to just pushing my energy out towards other people and trying to provide, whether it's providing for my family or providing from a spiritual perspective, providing for friends, providing for my greater community. Like, I tend to push my energy out there, and I end up getting whatever is left over. And that's not sustainable, by the way, especially from a spiritual aspect. Um, you know, when you're the person who plans and executes the ritual for other people or whatever, you're reading cards for other people, you're providing for other people. Sometimes it can be really hard to get what you need. And honestly, if I didn't have people like Joey Morris, who I admire so much, and Chris, who I admire so much, and who I watch on YouTube on a regular basis for my own sort of spiritual inspiration and feeding, I don't know what I would do, because I really don't have people in my life that return the energy to me in the same way that I typically put it out. And so I think that this year I need to just really focus on myself. I had way, way back years ago, I had taken a year off where I wasn't doing any community work, and I was just like doing a lot of yoga and not really practicing a lot of magic, just sort of practicing a lot of healing and self care and sort of restoring of myself. And when I did that, it was a really drastic action. I had been in community leadership for over a decade, and walking away from that was a huge step, and really, I don't want to say painful, because it was kind of a relief. I needed a break, but like it was a huge change in my life. And I didn't get a lot of support when I made that change to support myself and to like take that sabbatical that I needed for myself. But in the end, it was the best thing that I could do. But I had burned out at that point. Like I had nothing left to give. I was a shell. I was an empty cup. And I'm really grateful that the universe sort of nudged me in this direction at this time, because, I don't want to get into that position again. I don't want to be an empty cup. I want to be able to be active in my community and to give to others. And with this new diagnosis and this new illness, like I really do have to manage my energy better. And it's really interesting, because before I even had the flare that caused this diagnosis, way back at Samhain, I felt like the universe was saying, this year is going to be different and you need to prepare yourself for how it's going to be different. And at the time, I was like, oh, I feel so selfish picking my word of the year as just being self and not being something else that, would be more perhaps like outward facing or more helpful to other people. But now that things have unfolded the way that they have, I can really see that like there was a purpose behind that. And as I always say, Morgan knows best. And if she tells you something, you should probably listen. And so I really felt like she was telling me, no, this is the year that you really need to step back and turn inward, and not turn inward in a, ooh, focus on your shadows super heavily and like really turn inward, not like that, but like turn inward and nourish yourself and heal yourself and take care of yourself and love yourself, and ask yourself what your needs are and what is going to fill your cup, so that you're able to go back again and start facing outward again. And, I haven't completely pulled back from everything. Like, I'm still doing stuff, I'm still out there, but I'm just changing the way that I'm doing it. I have I have greatly limited the amount of time that I'm on social media, and I've unfollowed a lot of people that just seem to always bring drama and negativity in my direction. I've really cleaned up my social media a lot. And I've decided what things really matter to me, and those are the things that I'm going to put my focus on. And, I've told the people in my life that I care about, like, this is what I'm doing. So if it seems like I'm not on Facebook or I'm not on Twitter or whatever, like, call me, like, text me, like, I'm still here for you and I still want to talk to you. Social media just isn't. I mean, I like Instagram a lot and I get a lot out of that. I'm a really visual person when it comes to like spiritual things, but like Facebook, I just am not enjoying it anymore. It's stressful more than it's enjoyable. And like, you know, I like seeing my friends and seeing what they're doing and watching them enjoy their life, but so much of my feed isn't that. It's ads or it's like political stuff. And I care very deeply about the political stuff, but right now I can't be ingesting that all the time. So this weekend, my plan for Imbolc is to do sort of an altar cleansing, which I do every year, and resetting for the return of the light. I'm planning to do a hearth blessing for Bridget because she is the goddess of our actual like fireplace hearth. So I want to do a hearth blessing for her. I'm going to do my yearly rededication ritual, which I do every year to, rededicate myself to my craft. And yeah, I think that it's going to be a good weekend. I think it's going to be a quiet weekend, and that's okay. I don't need a big flashy ritual to connect with the gods, and I'm okay with that. So I would really love to hear from you guys. Like, first of all, if you're watching, I want to know where you're from. And so I'm from Wisconsin, in case you didn't catch that. So that's where I am. It's cold here. I'd like to know where you're from. And I'd like to know, like, are you a witch? Are you Wiccan? Do you celebrate Imbolc? Do you have intentions that you are planning to plant? I would love to hear all about that. So leave me a comment and let me know what's going on in your life. And if you've watched this whole video, thank you. And hopefully I'll be back soon with an update. Bye.